Hi, and welcome to this episode of Tennis Volley Talk with Brian Danielson. Hey, this week is really a continuation of the week that I went to the US Open Fan Appreciation Week and got to see a few of the stars. I have a few pictures if I can show them to you here now. That's actually right here is uh, Hada Maya Haddad Maya. I caught her right before I left on a Sunday there, and that was Madad, and she was just in the quarterfinals there at the U.S. Open, and she played really good, and she was practicing. And then I got a picture of, let's see, there we go, Sasha Bublik. So I got a picture of him practicing there at the U.S. Open. And then I also got, let's see, who else did I get? Oh, yeah. Let's see, here we go. Okay, let's see, who else did I get here? All right. We got, also, we got Emma Raducandu. I got her picture. And then I also got a couple of, let's see, who else did I get? I got Katharina. Oh, and then here is actually Emma Navarro, of all things. I got a picture of her, and that's her getting a drink of water there. And that was on the practice courts. I mean, whenever I came up and I was walking through all the practice courts and everything like that, what ended up happening is then with that, I sat down and then I just was looking out and I saw this girl serving and I went, oh, that's Emma Navarro, because I could just tell by her serve that it was her, because I've been watching her serve the ball in a few tournaments, and that was kind of nice and cool that I found out that's who that was. And then also, here's another one, another pro that I took a picture of practicing. Mickelson, Max Mickelson. I got that's his picture. And then, of course, of all things, I ended up getting also, I think, Pliskova. May have gotten a picture of her in this whole thing too. And here's a little video of Emma Raducandu, and I'll run that for you here too. And that's her getting ready. She's going to hit a backhand there with that. Yeah, and she got beat by Sophia Kenin in the first round. That really surprised me too, that she got beat by her. But with that, I got a bunch of pictures there. Got the Wall of Fame with everything of there. The champions wall, and have everybody from the 1800s of who won it. And then here's Pliskova. And there's a picture of Pliskova that I ended up getting a picture of too. And then there was a couple others that I kind of came across. Like I said, Ela Topvanovich from Australia, and I got her autograph, and then gave her one of my cards. And then also, funny thing is too, is that some young kid threw down a ball to Emma Navarro down there on the court, and then she ended up signing it, and then threw it back up to him. And I reached over, and I was gonna, but my book fell, and one guy ended up then reaching down for my book, and two of my cards fell down in the court, and she picked them up. So she was looking at my card, Emma Navarro was. And then she's actually on TikTok too, so has a page on TikTok. But other than that, one of those things, I'd like to get an interview with her. Who knows, that might come about. I don't know. But with that too, then with a few of the pros that I was able to interact and take pictures of, it was just great being able to see them play and hit the ball and see how they hit the ball, and everything. But with that, then I told you about making it home real early in the morning, because I had tried to walk back to the hotel because somebody threw themselves on the train track and didn't make it. And so I didn't get in until 3:30 in the morning. And I was up at like 8 o'clock the next day, which would have been Friday. And that was the day I'm going to be going to Westside Tennis Club in Forest Hills, New York. So with that was exciting in its own self too. And I woke up about 8 o'clock, and about 8:30, got myself kind of dressed and washed up, and then I got a text from Bea Hunt, which was a historian woman that was going to show me around the Westside Tennis Club. And if I could show up about 11 to 12, have time for lunch, and show the grounds and the courts, and then see the event that they were going to have. That they were going to have the UTS, the Ultimate Tennis Showdown, there too at the Forest Hills Club. And so I ended up doing, getting ready, and I was out the door, plenty of time, and I got onto the subway. And thinking, yeah, I got this down now, pretty much. Take the L train, and I know that I have to get off at certain stops that are big stops that you can get to around to other places in there. And that in itself is just a big maze, and you really got to know where you're going to go. And I thought I did. And then I ended up being on a train, and it was heading out way off. I realized that I was like 193rd going out towards the not Queens, but Staten. I don't know. I was heading way out, and I didn't know where I was. So I found out I had to go back and reverse, got in another train, and went, nope, that's not it either. And then I had to go back on another one, go back to the stop one of the main stops that I was at. And then I finally found the train that I needed to go on to go to Forest Hills. And it was running late. So I was, more like 1 o'clock or 1:15 or so, 1:30 by the time I got there. But with that, I hope you YouTubers, I hope you're liking how I got there and what I did with the Forest Hills, which was really a fun thing to do too, with that, and for my podcasts too. And if you like what I'm doing and the stories I'm telling, like, subscribe, and comment. And then you podcasters out there, you're going to be seeing the racket or you're going to be hearing about racket of the day. So if you want to take a look at it, go to my tennis YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk. So anyway, with that, I made it out in and watching. Some guy on the train lived in Forest Hills, and he was going to work. And so he kind of showed me a direction to go, where to go to the tennis courts. And I went down to a street and took a left. And then I ended up with that, I ended up finding my way then to the entrance of the court. And then there was a little entrance right before you get into the clubhouse. So there's some people there, and I was saying, well, Bea Hunt, she's the one that invited me here. And well, the one guy goes, yeah, just take him up and get him entered in. And then me and Bea were talking back and forth, and she called me, and then I finally, she says, yeah, fill it out, and then go wait for me. I waited for her out on the terrace, and I got there, and I'm sitting down there at the table at the terrace, and I'm looking out over all the grass courts, and people are hitting with, they got their tennis whites on. So you got to wear tennis whites at Westside Tennis Club. And they're hitting with white tennis balls too. You can use yellow ones, but kind of more tradition, it's the white tennis balls that they hit with. So that was a fun thing to do, just kind of leisurely watch some doubles from ex-college players that were hitting the ball really good. Not as good as what we do, but they're, kind of showing off a little bit. But that's good because that's what they do. They have that number one court and some real good hitting going on too on the mixed doubles part of it. And with that too, then Bea showed up, and then it was so wonderful being able to see her. And with that too, and then I was able to then be able to then go see a lot of the inside of the clubhouse of the Forest Hills. Now here it is. I'm overlooking the grass courts there at Forest Hills. So you can't really see it too good because it was sunny out there, but that might work out a little bit better. Okay. See, that's the view that I was out up on the terrace, looking out over the grass courts, and everybody in their tennis whites, and in the background you can see the stadium of the old Forest Hills Stadium right there, the part of it. That's where they have concerts now, but they can have a tennis court there, and they cover it up, put chairs out there, and then they have concerts, and they had made a stage and stuff. But that's where they have concerts now. But the whole stadium, part of the stadium is still there, and it's just a rustic, beautiful old stadium that way. And here's another picture overlooking the grass courts there. Just a wonderful sight, just so beautiful to see, and showing me the actual, the courts themselves. This is one of the guys I met. He used to be one of the pros there, named Guillermo, and I met him, and then I had a good conversation with him, and a lot of people I met that she introduced me to too, that were big people in the Westside Tennis Club and belong there. You got to have a letter. If you want to belong there, you got to have somebody from there, a member, write you a letter that says you're a good person. Come in, meet them, talk to them, and then they'll find out that you're a good person, and then you'll go in and then have a good time with talking, and then they'll kind of give a letter to the board, and then they'll give the okay if you can join or not. And I don't know how much it is to join, but quite a bit, I'm sure. Then she took me into the Bud Collins room of Bud Collins' library that his widow gave to the Westside Tennis Club. That's a picture of him with those pants, and those are a pair of his all wild pants that he used to wear all the time when he did interviews and everything too. So that was really fun being in that. And there's a couple old tennis rackets that he had there above the picture, and people have donated some of those old tennis rackets. This is him being a little for Bud Collins that was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and with that, then his bookcases that he had with all of his books and everything that he had written and collected over the years. They went in there and cleared out his library that his widow gave him. They brought back 96 banker boxes of his stuff that he had. And here's American Lawn Tennis, 1918. And then he had them bound in in book form. And it was 1918 lawn tennis, and at the bottom of it there, he put in gold Bud Collins. So that was kind of cool too, to see that all in gold, part two. Bud Collins, and then with that book and everything, and being able to see all the stuff that he had displayed in this one room of everything there too. And it was just beautiful to actually see a part of history. Here's a couple of programs that are from the early days of tennis, which has really been really cool to be able to look at and see too. And with that too, being able to, and then here's a couple, see, that's a Spalding racket, some Spalding rackets, a Wilson racket, and then in a little display case, those are probably 60s rackets or so, something like that, in that area. Here's a picture of a program with Connors winning, jumping over the net there, which is really cool in itself, and some programs. My life with the pros, and that's what Bud Collins wrote. It's a book that he wrote, and it says My Life with the Pros, and a book that Bud Collins wrote, and then that was in there too. And then here's some autographs from way back in the day, and some of them are possibility. Let's see, Bill Talbert, and Philip Hawk, and a few others that were, but Bill Talbert, that was one of them, possibility. And here's some of the older autograph pictures or autographs that you see. Can't really see it too much because it's a little bright, but yeah, you can't really see it too good. But a lot of old autograph pictures and autographs and stuff, which is really kind of cool. And then they kind of broke it down. Here's some old programs of the U.S. Open there that was in the library, and they had glass four shelves of three shelves and then a bottom shelf in huge bookcases with all of the stuff that they had. And this is official draw of the national championships. And in case of air raid, seek shelter under the stadium. What kind of a little advertisement they had that way. So yeah, it was kind of cool to see something of that nature too, and stuff. So with that little artist rendition of the courts, and then the clubhouse there, and the clubhouse itself is so beautiful. And here's some pictures of the promoting the U.S. Open, and having pictures of some of the pros that have been through there. There's Rod Laver and Ken Rosewall, for one of them standing together in the middle there. Ken Rosewall, and then Rod Laver there. So yeah, I got to see a lot of pictures of a lot of the pros. And Bud Collins, presented, the pictures to them of the stadium. And there's Bill Trabert. There he is. Bill Talbert is who that was. And so, it has a lot of the pros there. Even Arthur Ashe was even there and commemorated, given a picture of the stadium, and welcomed and commemorated there too, to be able to see these pictures. And of course, we got the good old lefty John McEnroe too, picture of him on the Wall of Champions. And Yvonne Lindell was there on the Wall of Champions. Manuel Orantes on the Wall of Champions there. Of course, then the late, great Vitas Gerulaitis, which was, what a sight to see that. he always had such a beautiful game. And then, of course, John McEnroe again, hitting his themed his forehand. And then, of course, Connors again, the rivalry that they had. So, with that, it's just, this is from the Wall of Fame there. So all you YouTubers, if you like that, that's kind of what I was getting to see in the clubhouse. And then being able to see that rich history of the clubhouse too. And Stan Smith, picture on the Wall of Fame, and with all of that, just some wonderful pictures of all of that too. And then some old Wilson tennis racket there in the display case. You got to know that that's probably around the 30s or so, something like that. The old white can of tennis balls in the corner there, white balls, I'm sure that they were. And with that too. And then there's Bea was talking, that's Bea sitting down in the orange shorts there. That's a historian woman that showed me all around. And then we were there having lunch. And I had one of the most best hamburgers there around, big, huge hamburger. And it had some water and a Coke and some ice cream afterwards. And it was such a beautiful meal and everything. And then just kind of being able to walk and just sit there and have a leisurely lunch. Here's a little bit of that. It says Forest Hills Tennis Club, Forest Hills, 1892 there. And there I am on the grass courts. Couldn't be on there very long, but that's me on the grass court of Forest Hills, as you see the clubhouse in the background. So I'm there hitting on the grass courts. Couldn't be out there very long. We didn't want to stay long because I wasn't in tennis white, so I kind of stuck out. So we had to take a picture quick, but we got it on there, got me on the court, and that was good, to be able to do that. And then with this, there's a picture of the clubhouse. What a beautiful clubhouse, old, historic, looks like the English cottage from back then. And now here, this right here, this little plot of land here, and where that little chimney is, from what they have is old pictures of when the Beatles landed on the grass court and did a concert there at the stadium in 1963 or 4, right in that area. And this is the area in which they landed. And because of that, how they could, with the picture that was taken, they could tell because of that chimney was the only chimney that was around that color at the time. And it's still that color from back then. But that's where the Beatles landed. And there's a beautiful picture of overlooking the grass courts and the clubhouse and everything. It's just beautiful. Oh yeah, there it is. There's a very nice picture of it all, of the clubhouse and everything. So with that too, I got into the stadium, and it commemorates Arthur Ashe. They have banners that commemorate each player. They're going to be thinking about doing a Vita Scarlitis banner. Now, you podcasters, you're going to be hearing about Racket of the Day, but if you want to take a look at the Racket of the Day, you can still go to my YouTube channel, like, subscribe, comment. Here's Moratoglu. He's the one that invented, he's the guy in the white. He's the guy that invented Ultimate Tennis Showdown. That's kind of revamped a little bit. It's gone down to 1 serve each. And then it's 8-minute quarters, and whoever is ahead at the 8-minute quarters, and then you can use one card. They narrowed it down to one card, which is next point wins 3 points. So whoever wins the next point wins 3 points. So you can either catch up or lose really big in that respect with that. So looking over the stadium, it's kind of a beautiful old looking stadium. Kind of reminded me a lot of the in Italy, the Roman the stadium that they have there. I was almost said to myself, when are the lions coming out from underneath there with the way it looks? It has a very old feel to it, and it's really beautiful to be able to see that. And here it is. Here's Rublev. Got to see him, and he was playing. And then this is Rublev, Gael Monfils, Sasha Bublik, and Stefano Tsitsipas, and Alex Demir. And those they were just right there, and I had really good seats all the way through. And then Gael Monfils ended up winning. He beat Tsitsipas. And then Tsitsipas can really hit that ball, because I saw him hit the ball the day earlier there at the U.S. Open. And so then with that, it's kind of the Ultimate Tennis Showdown, kind of a little board there that they have of who was playing and what days they had it from. It actually started on the August 31st, September 13th. August. Let's see. Well, they had different things that they were doing there, and different dates that they had things going on, and then and then they had the names of the players that were playing in the Ultimate Tennis Challenge. So with that, it was kind of a really neat thing in order to see that. And then with that, there's Sasha Bublik, and he was hitting the ball really good too. He ended up beating Demir, Alex Demir, and he's come back from a hip injury too. So with that, he's doing a lot better and hitting the ball a lot better too. He just made it into the semifinal there at the U.S. Open, which, however, we just have the women's final set for the U.S. Open. American woman, Jessica Pegula, against Aryna Sabalenka. And then the semifinals are going on, Sinner and Jack Draper, and two Americans, one of them guaranteed to go into the final between Taylor Fritz and Frances Tiafoe tonight. So it should be a good all the way around. This is what they used to have in the concerts that they used to have back in the early days that came through and had concerts and stuff at the Forest Hill Stadium. And, and then they had the 74 U.S. Open women's final, and it has some pictures of who won, Billie Jean King and Arthur Ashe over Tom Ocker. What a player, the Flying Dutchman and stuff. So, it has, this is actually a safe that they found underneath the stadium. Nothing was in it except a piece of paper. But they did find it and got it open, and a safe. Then they just keep it there for prosperity. But it was found under the stadium when they were making the stadium. And so 1923 Forest Hills Stadium, that would be a program from Forest Hills, 1923. And with that, too, it has a West Side Tennis Club. With that was a plaque on there. This is the color of West Side Tennis Club, purple and yellow flag banner. And then this is the one that they're going to make, hopefully, for Vita Scarlitis, the banner. And with that, some of the artist drawings that artists have drawn, and with that throughout, and the concerts that have played there, and the people who have played there in the concerts. And here's a car that was left by one of the bands, a heavy metal band. And that's the car I'm going to get, I think. I'll drive that around, see what it looks like, see what people think. And then with that, Gael Monfils played. And then with that too, with that all, Gael Monfils ended up beating Bublik. And with that, he won the Ultimate Tennis Showdown. And then also Bea came back, and the big thank you again for Bea Hunt for showing me around, she got a hat for me too, and got me into the Ultimate Tennis Showdown, showed me the grounds and also the clubhouse. A big thank you to Bea Hunt. She's wonderful to be able to host something like that for me. And what I did, and what a joy to be able to see the rich history of the West Side Tennis Club that way. And so with that too, I ended up then making it back to the hotel, another late night. It wasn't until I didn't get back until probably, I would say, probably about 1 or something like that. And but I did make it back, and I only got changed the trains 2 times, and it was just an easy shot right back. So that was a fun shot to be able to go and to be able to experience all of that stuff. So with that, without any further ado, here is actually the racket of the day. It's a NJ Megnan Corporation. It probably was founded in around about late 1890s or so, in that area. Not too much information on it, except that they did make tennis rackets. And this racket here didn't have any strings in it, but it's still in pretty good shape. It's called the Apollo racket. With that, the Apollo racket from that. And and then that's that is then the symbol of the Megnan Company. It's out of North Attleboro, Massachusetts. And it's a little older. Like I said, this racket is probably late 1890s to early 1920, right in that area, because it is a little bit more of a flatter head on it. Still very hardwood, maple or oak or something like that they do make the rackets out of. Still the very large handle on it too. But if you podcasters like that, like, comment, subscribe, and then also you podcasters, if you want to see that, take a look at it on my podcast, Tennis Volley Talk. And then you YouTubers, then be sure like, subscribe, and comment. So with that in mind, that is kind of my time with going to the tennis venues. I did get back to the U.S. Open back on the Sunday before I left on Monday, and so I got a few more shots and people to be able to give a card to, and who knows what might come about it. So take it from there and see what happens. So everybody, if you like what I do, just keep like, comment, and subscribe. And I thank you again. And everybody get out and play if it's going to be a nice day out there. And then I'll see you next week, or have something coming up, and who knows? And we'll take it from there. And I'll talk to you next week. Thank you very much.